G'day, I'm Tim Thompson and I'm on French Island, the guest of Gavin and Judy O'Connell on their property Lara, and they've come up with a calf head restraint that lets you use a standard cattle crush to safely and securely restrain calves without needing to buy expensive infrastructure. Let's take a look. Gavin, that looked pretty simple, mate. Didn't take you too long. And you've got a calf that's completely restrained, haven't you?
We certainly have. We can do any work we'd like to on the head of the animal now, and it'll hold it nice and still for you.
And I suppose that restraint, being able to pivot out of the way, you can run the adults through with the calves. You don't have to separate them first before you do any treatments on them. They can be with mum.
You can just use your normal workflow and run the cows through and then crush the calves and work on the calves accordingly. So there's not the distress of separating calves out from their mothers.
Now you're just changing tags today. It's a pretty simple job, but you can do any sort of job that involves the head of a calf from about, what, 3 or 4 weeks of age?
Certainly, Tim. We developed this more particularly for doing disbudding work on calves and picking them up when they're about 4 to 6 weeks of age. However, we've successfully worked on animals up to 12 to 18 months of age as well.
It's interesting, it pivots out of the way each time. What's the reason for that?
Yeah, look, we just want to be able to use the existing infrastructure and keep the workflow happening as you would normally in a crush. So we'll be just turning it out of the way to 90 degrees so we've got a clear opening, we can let the animal go through, and it's out of the way so that when we've got bigger animals coming through, they're not going to get hooked up on it as they come out.
No injuries, and it easily pivots out of the way. It's just one screw to do it up and position the head.
Just the hand wheel, turn it to 90 degrees, and off you go.
Now, mounting these, it looks like it's a fairly simple job. It's just 2 screws into the existing crush. Do you have other systems to mount them as well?
Certainly. This option that you're seeing at the moment, this is just a hand wheel that you can walk straight up to any crush and put on, so it's completely mobile. If you want to make it even more secure, you can pre-drill a couple of holes, put in some bolts straight through the crush gate, and you'll get even more secure fix. But to tell you the truth, we've found that this is adequate just with the mobile hand wheels.
So a simple little bar that you can throw in the back of the ute, you can attach to the crush in a couple of minutes, that you can run the cows through with their calves and just swing it into place and restrain any calf you want at any time. We don't need a calf box sitting out in the yard unused for 11 months of the year. All you need is a bracket.
No, we don't. We don't need to catch the animal remotely and drag it off to a calf box. Or
don't have to tie it to a fence. No. Don't have to do any of those sorts of things. And I suppose it's also getting the calves used to going through the crush in the yards normally, and their first experience is not going to be terrifying.
Just our existing workflow, Tim.
Hey.
As simple as that.
Well, Gavin, I love innovation, mate, so thanks very much for inviting me out to have a look at this. It's good old-fashioned Aussie innovation, and you've kept it nice and simple, and the design just works, doesn't it?
Certainly does, Tim. Thanks for coming to Lara Farm and having a look at our new invention with us.
Yeah, look, I can see vets and all sorts of people that travel around and treat calves on a regular basis just throwing this into their boot, keep themselves safe and make it a lot easier and less stressful on the animal. All right, well, I'm going to throw your Facebook page in the description there so people can get in touch with you and find out more about it. And let's get behind this, guys, and support some Aussie innovation. Thanks for having me out today. Let's have a look now at French Island farming.